How long have you been working in the Gravel Hill Community Gardens?
It's about 5 years.
5 years, wow.
Yeah. Yes. So the garden, if I divide it to two areas, one I supervise the volunteer people to look after all this area here. We call it a communal gardens, and the peripheral area here is used by other users, most of them Karen community. We have South Sudanese as well, and recently there's other people joined having veggie beds, look after them and grow what they like. People from multicultural, we have local people here as well. We have plenty of people using the garden.
Well, I've been coming here for a few months. I just love the atmosphere of the place and the vibe. Mohammed is here most of the time and does a terrific job in supporting some people less fortunate perhaps than us. And it's just an opportunity. It's a great community place, and everyone's always happy and friendly, and but also to get some fresh vegetables without pesticides or herbicides, and you know it's good for you, and you just pick what in certain areas and make a donation to Salvation Army, really. So it's great to be able to do that, and and to support a community enterprise, really.
Well, part of it is social, and some of them, they don't have a big garden at home, so they come here and look after their garden. They enjoy, did the work here, and pick the products. Yeah, we produce like in summer, we produce tomato, cucumber, zucchini, pumpkin, eggplants, capsicum, chili, all these used here. Yeah, and in winter we use like leafy vegetables, which is parsley, coriander, onion, chervils, dills, silver beet, broccoli, broccolini. So the list is very long. When Mason's restaurant, yeah, Mason restaurant, we supply him.
What do you do to get good soil to grow all these veggies?
Look, first, if I want to prepare the bed, take the weeds and we recycle the weeds. If there is small weeds, we just throw them away. If a big weeds like that, we chop them down and then we mix them with the other things like clipping things and grasses, and they decompose and return them. So most of our compost is coming from our garden and other people throwing their clipping grasses and other small twigs and things, and we process it, like turn it over, give it some water, moisten it, cover it, and within like 1 month it's start to decompose. We turn it over and give it a bit of water. The more you surface it, the less time you get it ready to return it to the garden. So I found putting nothing with the compost, only the compost, and it's the vegetables growing very well, so I don't need a fertilizer.
All organic?
It's all organic. We call it partially organic because we don't know from where the grass is coming, but we don't use insecticide. I don't use insecticide at all. So the birds cleaning the things like slugs and yeah.
And is that why you're growing marigolds next to you?
Yeah.
They encourage beneficial insects.
Yeah. Yes, we have this outdoor education. That's when the school kids come here and sit with their teacher. We're talking about the task they will do it in the garden, and then when they finish, they also aggregate there, and we make like a feedback for what they did with their teacher. The food, as we talk about it, is go to the restaurant. We go to some people come and pick their own and put some donation for the Salvation Army. Like a long story, when I came 2003 to Bendigo. I am from Iraq. I came from Jordan. I used to be a university lecturer at the university there, and then when my visa came to Israel as a school immigrant, I came with my wife and 4 kids. I did a course in education, like secondary school teacher, and before that, or during that time, I joined the university, Latrobe University, did a bit of work, like a sessional work, demonstrating and tutoring in the subject related my area of teaching, which is human anatomy and human physiology. So I supervised people for 6 months, and it was, as they said, it is the best project in the North Victoria. So we developed this area here, the terraces area. It was abandoned for many years.
So does this bring you more joy than lecturing at university?
Look, this is my passion. Lecturing and research on all this is still in my blood. But I ended here. I don't regret it. It's fantastic. I love it. I love gardening.
Garden was established approximately just over 20 years ago from a couple of gentlemen that are attached to the Salvation Army Church. And this whole area used to be, the whole 2 acres approximately, a footy oval. So they started from scratch and put in some really basic garden beds and cleared the area and put a lot of work and planning into it based on permaculture principles, drew up a plan, and the gardens have just evolved from then. Some of the ways that we are able to utilise the produce in the community garden, obviously we have many groups that are using the gardens for beds, for growing their vegetables, and also as activities. So it could be schools, kindergarten, disability groups, and those groups work with a bit of consultation with Mohammed in what is available, and they plant them out and then harvest. A lot of the produce that Mohammed is planting, we do supply masons as well with some of their fresh produce, but probably our most important aspect of the gardens is, besides the social aspect of bringing people together, particularly those that are isolated, is that we're able to contribute fresh produce to our food parcels that people who find themselves in a situation where they need food relief are able to access fresh vegetables that are in season. We also are part of Bendigo Food Pantry, so there are online orders and for people that need short-term food relief, and we're able to contribute some fresh vegetables to that. And we also have a wonderful volunteer, Joy, who she does some cooking during the week, and she'll cook up some usually vegetarian type meals so that we can meet all the dietary requirements for people, and she makes really nutritious frozen meals, and those meals are ready to eat for people, so they go out in the food parcels as well. And we see the gardens in as an extra support to be able to distribute that food in our emergency relief program. We're going to really need volunteers coming anytime now to help us do the work in the gardens and get things ready for our spring planting. Mohammed's got such wonderful knowledge around growing food. It's really important that people are accessing nutritious food